Welcome to Golden Memories. I'm Barbara. Here we revisit the lives of cherished icons whose moments continue to shine through time. Their talent, warmth, and dedication left a lasting impression on audiences everywhere. Join us as we celebrate their journeys across film, music, and culture, honoring memories that remain timeless and forever inspiring. 15 years ago this week, the world lost Elizabeth Taylor, who passed away at the age of 79. She was more than a Hollywood icon. She was a powerful screen presence whose performances carried deep emotion, intensity, and a rare ability to connect with audiences across generations. Her impact went far beyond fame, shaping how many people remember classic cinema. From a young age, she captured attention in films like National Velvet, where her natural charm and sincerity made her a standout talent. As her career matured, she delivered more complex and layered performances, including her acclaimed role in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Her Oscar-winning performance in Butterfield 8 revealed a more vulnerable and emotional side, while Cleopatra cemented her status as one of the most legendary figures in film history. Beyond the glamour and success, she was also deeply human, resilient, passionate, and unafraid of reinvention. Even years after her passing, Elizabeth Taylor remains unforgettable, remembered not only for the iconic roles she played, but also for the lasting emotion and presence she brought to the screen. About 10 years ago, the entertainment world quietly lost Garry Shandling. Garry Shandling at the age of 66, a performer whose humor was never about loud punchlines, but about honesty, awkwardness, and the small truths people usually avoid saying out loud. He had a rare ability to make audiences laugh, while also making them recognize parts of themselves in the characters he created. Shandling wasn't just a stand-up comedian. He helped change television storytelling itself. With The Larry Sanders Show, which he co-created and starred in, he pulled back the curtain on the world of late-night television, showing the insecurity behind the confidence, the ego behind the smiles, and the loneliness that often sits beneath fame. The series became a landmark in comedy and earned him critical respect and awards, including an Emmy. But his real achievement was influencing how future shows would blend humor with realism. Even later in his career, he surprised audiences by appearing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Senator Stern, proving his range went far beyond comedy alone. Years after his passing, his absence still feels noticeable, as if someone who understood human behavior so clearly has quietly stepped out of the room, leaving behind work that still feels personal and relevant. Ivan Dixon was a talented actor and director whose work left a lasting mark on American television and film. Many people remember him for his role as Sergeant Kinchlow in Hogan's Heroes, where he brought a calm, intelligent, and steady presence to a character set within a lighthearted and often chaotic sitcom world. His performance stood out for its quiet strength and warmth, making the character memorable to audiences over the years. Beyond acting, Dixon also made important contributions behind the camera as a director. He worked on a range of television and film projects that reflected thoughtful storytelling and emotional depth. His career showed a strong commitment to meaningful work in an industry that did not always give equal space or recognition to every voice. He passed away at the age of 76, but his influence continues to be felt. His performances and directorial work are still appreciated for their quality and sincerity, and they remain relevant to viewers today. Dixon's legacy lives on through the impact he made on screen and behind it, quietly inspiring newer generations of actors and filmmakers who value skill, dignity, and purpose in storytelling. 10 years ago, the music world lost Malik Taylor, known as Phife Dawg, at the age of 45. He was a key member of a tribe called Quest, a group that helped shape a new direction in hip-hop with a softer, more thoughtful sound. While he may not have always been the most outspoken member, his presence stood out through his sharp humor, relatable lyrics, and smooth delivery that added balance to the group's dynamic. His work on albums like The Low End Theory helped show that rap could be both intelligent and deeply personal, blending everyday experiences with creativity and emotion in a way that connected with listeners from all walks of life. He often spoke about real struggles, friendships, and life's small moments with honesty and charm, making his verses feel genuine and easy to relate to. Even years after his passing, his influence continues to live on through the music he helped create and the artists he inspired. His voice still resonates with fans who grew up with his songs and new listeners discovering his work today. Phife Dawg remains remembered not just as a member of a legendary group, but as an artist whose energy and storytelling helped define an era of hip-hop. Sir Anthony Lyotte, a brilliant mind who helped reshape modern physics, passed away peacefully at his home in Urbana, Illinois. He was 87. He is remembered for his groundbreaking work in superconductivity and superfluidity, research that deepened scientific understanding of how matter behaves at extremely low temperatures and helped open new paths in modern physics. In 2003, he received the Nobel Prize in Physics, a recognition of both his remarkable intellect and his lifelong commitment to scientific discovery. Beyond his research achievements, he was also a dedicated professor at the University of Illinois, where he spent many years teaching, mentoring, and encouraging young scientists to think boldly and explore curiosity-driven ideas. Many of his students went on to build their own successful careers in physics, carrying forward his influence in subtle but lasting ways. His legacy continues not only through his published work, but also through the generations of thinkers he inspired to question, discover, and push the boundaries of science. Kevin Hart stands today as one of modern comedy's most recognizable voices, but his journey is far more than fame or laughter. It is a story shaped by persistence in difficult environments, discipline built through repetition, and the gradual transformation of personal struggle into creative strength. From modest beginnings in Philadelphia to global stages and blockbuster films, his path reflects steady ambition rather than sudden success. What makes his story compelling is not just achievement, but adaptation through setbacks, pressure, and change. Comedy became his profession, but survival was always the deeper foundation. His life shows how identity can evolve through consistency, responsibility, and the determination to keep moving forward even when circumstances are unstable or unpredictable. Early life in Philadelphia. Growing up in North Philadelphia, Kevin Hart experienced a childhood shaped by financial pressure and emotional complexity. Raised primarily by his mother, he learned early that stability was something created through effort, rather than assumed by circumstance. The environment around him was not easy, but it was formative. He became observant at a young age, noticing how people responded to stress, humor, and hardship. Instead of being sheltered from difficulty, he was exposed to it in everyday life, which made him more aware of the world's unpredictability. These experiences did not limit him, but sharpened his understanding of human behavior. Even as a child, he began using humor as a way to interpret situations, not escape them. This early sensitivity to timing, reaction, and emotional tone became the groundwork for his later career in comedy and performance. Family influence and discipline. Kevin Hart's upbringing was strongly influenced by his mother's discipline and structure. She worked hard to provide stability, and in doing so, she created an environment where responsibility was expected rather than optional. Her approach was firm but rooted in care, teaching him that discipline was a form of love. His father's presence was inconsistent, and that absence shaped Kevin's understanding of reliability and emotional presence. Rather than becoming bitter, he processed these experiences internally, often reflecting on them later through humor and storytelling. This balance of structure and absence helped him develop emotional awareness at an early stage. He learned that people are shaped not only by what they receive, but also by what they miss. These family dynamics influenced how he later connected with audiences, allowing him to speak about struggle in a way that felt personal, yet widely relatable. School years and early personality. During his school years, Kevin Hart stood out for his energetic personality and natural sense of humor. He quickly realized that comedy could be a bridge between himself and others, helping him navigate social environments where belonging was not always guaranteed. Instead of withdrawing when situations felt uncomfortable, he leaned into humor as a way to connect. This instinct became an early form of performance training, even though he did not see it that way at the time. He observed how people reacted to different tones, expressions, and timing, which helped him understand how attention and emotion worked in groups. These observations shaped his confidence gradually. His personality developed around awareness rather than imitation, and this helped him build a foundation for communication that would later translate naturally onto the stage in stand-up comedy. First steps toward comedy. After finishing school, Kevin Hart explored different jobs, including retail work, where he interacted directly with people from all walks of life. These experiences became unexpectedly valuable, teaching him how to read behavior and respond quickly in real-time conversations. Eventually, he transitioned into stand-up comedy, performing in small clubs where audiences were unpredictable and often tough. These early performances were not easy, and success did not come immediately. Instead, they became learning environments where every reaction mattered. He treated each show as practice rather than judgment, which helped him build resilience. Even when performances did not go well, he returned to the stage. This consistency became one of his strongest traits. Over time, he began developing a clearer sense of timing, delivery, and audience connection, which slowly shaped his identity as a comedian. Early struggles on stage. In the early phase of his comedy career, Kevin Hart faced frequent rejection and inconsistent audience reactions. Small venues often tested his confidence, requiring him to adjust quickly when material did not land as expected. Instead of being discouraged, he used these moments as feedback. Each performance became an opportunity to refine his storytelling and improve his understanding of what audiences connected with. His focus gradually shifted toward personal experiences and relatable everyday situations, which made his material more authentic. Progress was slow but steady, built through repetition rather than breakthrough moments. These years taught him that comedy is not just about talent, but about persistence and the willingness to improve continuously. Over time, his delivery became sharper, and his presence on stage grew more confident, marking the beginning of real momentum in his career. Breakthrough in stand-up. Kevin Hart's breakthrough came as his comedic voice became more defined and emotionally grounded. He developed a style that blended fast-paced storytelling with expressive physical performance, making his shows highly engaging. Audiences connected with the honesty in his material, which often drew from personal experiences and everyday struggles. Instead of presenting comedy as distant observation, he made it feel lived in and relatable. This approach helped him transition from small clubs to larger venues, expanding his reach significantly. His performances began attracting national attention, and his name started circulating more widely in entertainment circles. The breakthrough did not eliminate challenges, but it shifted his career trajectory. He now had a platform that allowed him to refine his voice further, while reaching audiences on a much larger scale, setting the foundation for his future success. Rise in film and television. As Kevin Hart moved deeper into stand-up success, film and television naturally became the next stage of his career growth. His comedic energy, which worked so well on stage, translated into screen roles that demanded timing, expression, and adaptability in a different format. Movies like Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and Central Intelligence helped introduce him to global audiences who may not have followed stand-up comedy closely. What made this transition effective was not just humor, but his ability to react within structured storytelling while still feeling spontaneous. He brought a physical, expressive style that made even simple scenes feel lively and engaging. Over time, he became a reliable box office presence, contributing to successful ensemble casts and commercial hits. This phase showed that his talent was not limited to comedy clubs. It demonstrated adaptability, proving he could hold attention in scripted formats while maintaining the same energy that defined his stand-up identity. Building a business empire. As his career expanded, Kevin Hart began thinking beyond performance and into ownership. Instead of only being the face of projects, he started building structures behind them. This led him into production companies and creative ventures designed to develop films, digital content, and media platforms. His focus shifted toward control, ensuring that stories he believed in could be developed with creative integrity. This mindset reflected a deeper understanding of the entertainment industry. Success is not only about visibility, but also about influence and decision-making. By creating his own production ecosystem, he reduced dependence on external approval and increased creative freedom. This phase of his life marked a shift from performer to entrepreneur. It also required learning new skills, from business planning to leadership. Over time, he built a brand that extended beyond comedy, turning his name into a production identity that could support long-term creative growth and industry presence. Public challenges and growth. Like many public figures, Kevin Hart experienced moments where personal decisions and public expectations collided. These situations became widely discussed, requiring him to respond not just as an entertainer, but as a public personality. Instead of stepping away permanently, he chose to address these moments directly and continue working. Over time, this approach shaped his understanding of accountability. Rather than viewing mistakes as endings, he treated them as turning points for reflection and improvement. What stands out is not perfection, but consistency in returning to work and maintaining transparency in his actions. These experiences helped him mature in how he navigates visibility and responsibility. They also reinforced the idea that public life requires awareness, especially when influence is large. His response focused on growth, showing a willingness to adapt behavior and perspective rather than avoid consequences or retreat from his career entirely. Physical setbacks and recovery. Later in life, Kevin Hart faced a serious physical injury that significantly impacted his mobility and daily routine. This moment forced him to slow down in a way his career had never required before. Recovery became a structured process involving therapy, patience, and gradual rebuilding of strength. Instead of rushing back into work, he had to accept limitations and focus on long-term healing. This period changed his understanding of physical resilience, showing that strength is not only about endurance but also about recovery and restraint. It also created a shift in perspective, where health became a priority rather than an afterthought. The experience reminded him that the body has its own limits, regardless of ambition or schedule. Over time, recovery became not just physical but mental, helping him reassess how he balances work, health, and personal well-being in a more sustainable way. Family life and fatherhood became one of the most grounding aspects of Kevin Hart's life. With his children, he experienced a version of responsibility that was personal and continuous, not tied to performance or public success. Being present in their lives required structure and intentional balance between work and home. He often emphasizes the importance of consistency, showing up, and being emotionally available. These values shaped how he organizes his time and decisions. Unlike career achievements, parenting does not offer instant feedback, which made it a deeply reflective experience for him. His children became a reminder of priorities beyond fame, helping him stay connected to everyday life. Over time, fatherhood added emotional stability and perspective, influencing both his personal identity and professional choices. It helped him understand success not only as achievement, but also as presence, responsibility, and the ability to remain engaged in the lives of those closest to him. Cultural impact and influence beyond entertainment. Kevin Hart has become a recognizable cultural figure whose influence extends across film, business, and media. His work has contributed to shaping modern entertainment trends, particularly in how comedians build multi-platform careers. Instead of remaining within stand-up alone, he expanded into film production, digital content, and entrepreneurship. This reflects a broader industry shift where performers are also creators and business leaders. His presence in global entertainment has helped normalize comedians as major box office figures and production owners. He represents a new model of creative identity, where versatility and ownership are essential. His influence reaches beyond humor, affecting how entertainment careers are structured today. Through films, tours, and production ventures, he has helped shape a more interconnected entertainment landscape, where storytelling, branding, and business strategy work together. Reflection and continuing journey. Kevin Hart's journey is ongoing, shaped by constant movement, adaptation, and reinvention. Rather than reaching a final endpoint, his career continues to evolve through new projects and experiences. What defines him most is not a single success, but the ability to keep adjusting to changing circumstances. His path reflects a balance between ambition and responsibility, public visibility and personal grounding. Over time, he has learned that success is not static, but something that requires maintenance and awareness. Each phase of his life adds new understanding, whether in comedy, business, or personal growth. His commitment to work and storytelling remains consistent, even as his roles expand. The continuing journey shows that growth does not stop with achievement. It continues through reflection, discipline, and the willingness to evolve with time and experience.